guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mauh and I am making a video today. It's a pick a pile of cards, divination and energy reading. However, today it's going to be a little bit different. If you're new to my channel, welcome. As I did say just before, my name is Mauh. That's the short version for Mauh, and I am a tarot and oracle reader, and I do scrying with the crystal ball. You're on my channel Mauh Moon, so welcome. Before you leave, please remember to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you won't miss a video that I will upload. I upload one video at least every week, if not more often. So today is a little bit of a different video for you guys. It's a pick a pile of cards divination reading, yes, but it is going to be a little bit different because I am going to give you the question. I am going to read the question for you. So I've never done this before, but excuse me, in the Bible, which I was raised and grew up as a Christian, so I know a little bit about the Bible, and I was thinking about this story in Daniel where the king, King Nebuchadnezzar, he had a dream and he wanted his wise men, his magicians, to interpret the dream for him so he could understand what the dream meant for his life. And instead of telling them what the dream was so that they could interpret it for him, for King Nebuchadnezzar, they were told that they had to tell him what he dreamed and then explain the dream to him. So this is going to be a little bit of a reading in that sense, where I am going to look into the crystal ball. This is the plan. I'm going to look into the crystal ball. I'm going to find the question that's in your mind. I am going to then read the oracle card that comes right after the crystal ball. So the top card is an oracle card. That is going to solidify the question in your mind that you have. And then I will read the tarot cards, the 6 tarot cards following the oracle card, in order to answer the question for you. So before I start, I'm going to let you know what tarot and oracle decks I'm using. So I'm using the Initiatory Golden Dawn Tarot, Initiatory Golden Dawn Tarot. I am going to be using the Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. I'm also going to be using the Light Seers Tarot. I am going to be using Hush Tarot. I am going to be using Chrysalis Tarot, as well as the Wheel of the Year Tarot. And last but not least, I will be using the Alice the Wonderland Oracle. So you can always go ahead and Google those tarot decks if you're interested to know where you could purchase them. I'm not sponsored by any tarot or oracle deck companies. I don't make any money off of it. I just want to give credit where credit's due. So let's just go and introduce the piles to you now. So the first pile, pile number 1, has a black crystal. Usually black crystals are good for absorbing negativity, but there's a little bit of white in this one too, which could be symbolic of letting in purity. So that's pile number 1. Pile number 2 is like a purpley clear, and maybe even a little bit of a pink quartz stone, so it's see-through. It's almost shaped like a heart as well. And the third pile is a greenish stone, greenish, like almost greenish brown stone. So it's a little hard to see with the lighting, but yeah, you can see it's got like a greeny color to it. Okay, so I'm just going to put the crystal ball over here for now. So pile number 1 was the black stone, pile number 2 was the pinky, purple, and clear quartz, and pile number 3 was the green stone. So if you're new to pick a pile of cards readings, I would like you to use your gut feeling to pick a pile of cards that you feel like you're being drawn to. And so how do you know you picked the right pile of cards, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to pick either pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. And maybe you could go with your favorite number. Maybe your favorite number is 3. So then you could go with pile 3. And how do I know if I picked the right pile of cards? I know that I'm not second guessing myself. So as much as I see all the other piles, I know in my heart that I don't feel any kind of regret over picking the pile. So again, pile 1 is the black rock. Pile 2 is like the clear quartz and pink rock. And pile 3 is the greenish rock. So you can always pause the video if you want to think a little while longer, but you shouldn't have to think too long about it though. So I am going to take out the crystal ball. The timestamps will be down below for those of you who picked pile 2 or pile 3. For those of you who picked pile 1, let's go ahead and start to look into the crystal ball to see what the question is that you're wanting an answer to. I'm seeing a planet. I'm feeling a question regarding the world. I feel like the question is in regards to COVID. There's some uncertainty though in my heart about this question. I don't know if it's something that I'm seeing rays of the sun, okay? So it's almost like a symbol of catastrophe. For those of you who picked pile number 1, there was something to do with the catastrophe of COVID. Almost like you want to know when this is going to end. But you do know that that's a difficult question for me to answer, right? So we're going to read the energy of the cards. We're going to read the energy of the cards to see if we can get some information on when COVID will end for you guys. So you guys picked the black crystal rock. Thank you. Okay, so the first card is going to be in regards to your question about when will COVID end. So it's going to be an oracle card, and it's going to kind of give me more of a clearer definition of the question. Okay, so the oracle card you got is card number 40. And it says, keeping up, immense effort and advance. Immense effort, advance. Okay, so the question is, when will this COVID catastrophe end? And I'm feeling that the question is in regards to you wanting to know when and how will you have enough income or enough energy to keep pressing on during this COVID time. So that's why it says keeping up, and it says immense effort, because I think the question is in regards to how do I keeping up when it's taking so much energy, and advance. So it could be, I think the question is in regards to when is there going to be a vaccine. It's very much centered around COVID, this question. How advanced are they into finding a vaccine? I see that COVID is a very, so it's a very difficult subject for you to think about, and I see why you want to ask that question about COVID and when will this catastrophe end. So let's go into the tarot cards. So in regards to when will COVID end and how will I be able to keep up, you have the Knight of Chalices, so keep in mind that the Knight is above the page. So the page is a newbie to this idea of the chalices. So the Knight of Chalices is more advanced. He's more of a warrior because he's a knight and he has a horse and he's ready to go into battle as a knight. And And the chalices are symbolic of emotions. And so I think that you've been keeping up pretty well with this whole COVID catastrophe, and you feel like you've been battling in your emotional life with dealing with either discouragement or depression or sadness or just lack of energy, lack of drive, lack of motivation, worry. You feel scared. And you've been fighting a lot with those emotions, because this is the Knight, and there's also, this is a Knight of Chalices, so Chalices is emotion, and there's also a Taurus symbol on here. It's on the horse, on the seat of what the Knight is sitting on. So Taurus is a symbol of being grounded. So I'm getting the impression that another thing that you've been battling with is the feeling of want, the feeling of needing, but also the feeling of having enough to feel like you have enough to get through to a certain point. But you're asking this question, when will the COVID catastrophe end? Because you're starting to feel like maybe you're running out of resources. The second tarot card we have is the Ace of Chalices. So this is a card that's telling me that Source is reassuring to you that your motives are they're, how you're feeling right now is very, it's innocent. When I say innocent, I mean that the way you're feeling in regards to COVID is very much a purity of heart in regards to how you're feeling about it. You are accepting it for what it is, and you can understand exactly what it is as well. You're not one who's going to be frivolous and go out and start acting like COVID is not real anymore. The Ace of Chalices is also like a gift from Divine, so it's giving you Divine is giving you the feeling of courage in this time, because he's handing you a chalice, or she's handing you a chalice from within the clouds and within the sky. And in the chalice, the courage, the emotion of courage that you're receiving in the chalice is flowing over like some sort of waterfall and into the source of the lake. So you are a source of courage for the people around you in regards to the COVID situation. And Divine wants you to know that you're not going to run out of courage to keep going through this COVID catastrophe, because you are always going to be filled with the source of courage, which is Divine is your source of courage. And you can look within yourself for that courage, and you will find it, because we are all connected to source. And so it's not, you don't have to worry about, what will I do if my courage runs out? Because although you might think at times that you have no courage, just the fact that you're thinking about having no courage means that you're thinking about courage, which means that it's there. It's just that you're doubting yourself. The next card we have is the Two of Spirals. So spirals are the same thing as wands. I'm seeing the idea of home here, because you see there's a bird, and he or she, oh, sorry guys, the bird has two nests, and so there's a symbol of abundance here, because the bird has two nests, right? And that is not really normal for a bird to have two nests. But there's a symbol of abundance here. It's not so much the idea of when will this COVID catastrophe end, because there's an idea that even if it takes a long time for the COVID catastrophe to end, which Divine can't tell you exactly when it will end. And if Divine can't tell you, I can't tell you either, because my energy and my words are coming from Source, and what I'm feeling Source is giving me in all my body and my mouth to tell you. So the idea for your question, when will this COVID catastrophe end, is just to say that you will be provided for and you will have more than you are going to need. So it's more like a card to say, yes, you have courage. Yes, you are fighting through this. You are sometimes feeling like you're having a hard time keeping up, but you are keeping up and you are advancing. In maybe you're a person who you're asking this question, when will this COVID catastrophe end, because you feel like you're losing courage, or you feel like you're losing that ability to fight and to stay strong and to stay like calm and to keep your cool. Or not, when I say you're cool, I mean you're trying not to be anxious about it. But this is a card to say the answer is not there. The answer is not for you to know when the COVID catastrophe will end. It's more so to let you know that you will always have enough through this situation and that you don't need to worry. The next card we have is the Eight of Wands, putting your energy together with other people's will, other people's passion, other people's drive, putting your energy together, and everything is as above, so below, right? So here we see the sky above with the stars, and we see the wands coming from below and reaching up to the stars. There's that idea here with the Eight of Wands, which is passion and drive and willpower and creative energy. The wands is a suit that is symbolic of fire, so that energy within you. There's that idea of learning through this opportunity that you're getting through the COVID catastrophe. There's an opportunity that you are receiving. The opportunity is for you to connect with the divine. And so there will be other people in your life as well who will be on that same path, because you see we have 8 wands and they're all coming up to join to one point in the sky. And there is a great gap between the sky and the wands. But when you're looking at this card, you don't see a gap between the sky and the wands. You see that it even seems like the wands are coming from the sky just because they're so close to the sky. So that there's that idea that this is a chance, and I've heard other people say this as well, so it's not coming from me, it's not my idea, but the whole idea of the COVID situation and the COVID catastrophe is that this is a chance for you to reconnect with your spirit, with yourself, to go inward and to connect with your ancestors, connect with spirits that are helping you, connect with maybe people that you love that have passed away, connecting with them, honoring their memory, celebrating their life. It's almost like there's a joining here. There's a joining of forces. The pink as well, I see a lot of love in this card because the sky is pink and all of the wands are like different colors: blue, pink, red, orange, green, purple. And so there's that idea that everything is going to be okay. The answer for you in regards to when will this COVID catastrophe end is that you will always be provided for, so you don't need to worry about being provided for. And the idea that in this card we were seeing everything is going to be okay. I don't know if you've seen that that picture of the rainbow, where during COVID, that picture of the rainbow, and it will always be a remembrance for people when they think back to COVID. There's that idea that when everybody puts a rainbow, they draw a rainbow, they color a rainbow with chalk or pencil or construction paper, they cut out like to make a rainbow. It's the idea that everything is going to be okay. So this card is really telling you that everything is going to be okay because there's a rainbow in this card. So yes, you are worried because you don't know when it's going to end, but you need to know that just like that rainbow, everything is going to be okay. The next card we have is 20, and it's the Judgment card. And it's really a card that's telling me that you don't need to be hard on yourself, because yes, it is true that you are feeling anxious and you're feeling worried and you're feeling like you're losing your footing, and you feel like you're not the same person you used to be, and you're not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But this card is the Judgment card, and it's really like if the person is deep in thought, and it's really to let you know that you don't need to judge yourself in regards to the feelings that you have. Perhaps you are, staying indoors with a roommate, and perhaps you feel like they seem to get on my nerves, or I get on her nerves, or she gets on his nerves, or somebody's getting on someone's nerves because you're spending so much time together indoors. But it's normal to feel that way. Don't judge yourself unnecessarily. And the last card we have to finish off the reading for you guys who picked pile number 1 with the black stone, and the question being, when will this COVID catastrophe end, is, so it's the Knave of Pentacles. So it's the Page of Pentacles. And this kind of reminds me of that movie, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, with that actor from Hollywood. I'm not going to say his name, but we all know who he is. And there's the idea that there's a fantasy world. There is reality and there is fantasy. Fantasy is not just a movie. Fantasy is what people appear to be through their movies and who they are in actual real life. And there's almost that idea that we're never going to really know. So you may be asking yourself now, okay, so maybe I won't know when the catastrophe for COVID is going to end, but you may be asking yourself, how do I know what's true and how do I know what's false? And there's that idea behind this card that you have to experience it. You have to journey through this and make up your own answers to your own questions. It's just like that idea where, when in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, there was this idea that there was this big grand chocolate factory that they could go to if they won a golden ticket, and only a certain few were able to go because there was only a limited amount of golden tickets in the chocolate bars that you could win. And there's the idea that you have this opportunity. You are one of those chosen golden ticket winners, and the idea is that you have that you can go in and look closer at the situation that you are involved in regarding the catastrophe of COVID, and regarding the government, and regarding people, and regarding people numbers. You have that opportunity to go to that factory and see things for yourself firsthand. And it's like that idea where, I don't know if you remember the old Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where the kids went in the tunnel and they started seeing all kinds of weird pictures on the walls, and it was a little bit scary. And there's that idea that, yes, it's going to be scary. Divine wants me to know that I have to tell you that it's okay to be scared, because it is a scary situation, and it's a valid question, because I'm sure a lot of people are asking that question. And the good thing is that you're thinking about that question. And if you're thinking about it, it's because you're aware and you're in touch with your surroundings, and you're in touch with the energy of the people around you who are really going through a horrible time with their loved ones passing away and stuff like that. And so this is not a belittling answer to your question. It's just that I don't know when the COVID catastrophe will end, but I do know that according to the cards that were in this reading for you, you will be provided for, you will have the courage, you will advance, you will see things firsthand, you will be able to make up your own mind regarding the situation. And just like this Knave of Pentacles, like he's holding a pentacle which symbolizes Earth. This is a very real situation on our planet Earth. And you don't need to judge yourself because you are making up ideas that you believe, not just ideas because they're fake. They're actually concrete ideas. You're having concrete ideas about people, and you feel like it's making you a bad person to think about the fact that maybe you don't like somebody very much. And the idea is that you have a right to not like somebody. You have a right to think that somebody is a hypocrite, but you also have a right to be the best version of yourself. And so it says keep up with yourself too, not just with other people, but keep up with yourself. And you chose this black rock, and I did say that it absorbs negativity. I just want to say, make sure that you are finding a way to release that negativity, whether it be through artwork or whether it be through going for walks. Let the world, when I say the world, I mean Mother Earth, let the ground yourself, if you can think about it, ground yourself into the earth by thinking about mentally taking the negativity that you might be feeling and sending it back to Mother Earth, because Mother Earth can take that energy and she can use it to better herself, because the earth can neutralize positive and negative energy, and it uses it to grow and to continue to allow us to thrive on this earth. And I feel that there's a lot of anger in regards to this COVID situation, and I understand that there is, because it is a very angering situation, especially how some people are belittling the situation and being like really wild in their ways, and like acting like there's nothing going on, and going to house parties and like spreading the virus. It's a very scary situation, but I'm trying to think back to what we saw in the crystal ball. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was about COVID. It was about the earth. Yeah, there was a symbol of the earth there. And so you are thinking about the earth. Yeah. And so that's the reading for you guys. It's hard to understand sometimes, I'm sure. And if not everything resonated with you in this reading, that's fine. But I think it's a valid question. And I think that the energy of the cards was pretty accurate in letting you know that, one, you're doing okay, keeping up, and you're making immense effort, and you're advancing, you know, in your own character through this. With the Knight of Chalices, the idea that you're doing a good job. And sometimes the Knight, like this card, can relax and just take it easy and smile. And so it's not always about having to fight, but sometimes it's about relaxing. In this card, the Ace of Chalices, we had the idea that courage is being handed from you, from the divine. So don't forget the divine within you. And this Two of Spirals, we had the idea that you are going to be provided for, and you're not going to be left out in the cold. In the Eight of Wands, we had the idea that everything is going to be okay, and you can connect with the divine to make sure about that. In the Judgment card, we had that idea that it's okay to judge yourself or judge others, but remember to be kind in doing that, because sometimes you think, oh, I just judged that person. I'm a horrible person for thinking about that person in that way. But the idea is, thoughts are not wrong. Thoughts allow us to grow and evolve. And the last card you had was the Page of Pentacles, which is that idea that not everything is always what it seems, and you have the opportunity to make up your own mind and to keep asking those kind of questions, like, when will this COVID catastrophe end? So I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. For those of you who picked pile number 1 with the black stone, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to those of you who picked pile number 2. You guys picked the pile with the clear quartz with the pinkish purple tints on it. So let me get right into this. I'm going to take out the crystal ball, and we're going to get an idea, if not the actual question that you're thinking about. And then we'll go ahead and answer with the tarot cards, and we will, after we do the crystal ball reading, we'll clarify the question with an oracle card, and then we'll go ahead and read the tarot cards. That's how we're going to do it. So for those of you who picked pile number 2, all right? I'm seeing okay. The question is in regards to somebody who is nitpicking themselves. The question is in regards to love. It's about the idea that something is stopping. Something is being stopped from turning. I get the impression somebody is tired of love, wants to stop being hurt by love. But the question, what is the question? Okay, what am I seeing here? I'm seeing clouds. Seeing white and blue puffy clouds. Seeing a face, something in the clouds. Red balloon. Okay, again, there's that imagery of love with the red. Dreaming. Okay, dreaming. Dreaming of love. When will I meet my soulmate? Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So the question was, when will I meet my soulmate for you guys? Okay, so you had the pink. How perfect to have the pink heart for when will I meet my soulmate. Okay, so let's just take up the first oracle card and see if there's any way we can clarify the question a little bit more. So growing up, card number 17, wanting to grow and experience rejection of perpetual youth. So already I'm feeling the sense that you've gone through a lot of heartbreak, what you see as rejection during your youth, and you're wanting to grow and experience in regards to actually having someone that you can love and call your soulmate. You feel like you would have already been there by now, and that you're already grown up, and for some reason you don't feel like you've grown up because you don't have that person in your life that you want to call your soulmate. So there's idea of growing up, and you feel like, somehow you're still like you were when you were in your youthful, adolescence, or early 20s or 30s even. And there's that idea that you just want to be a grown up, you just want to get into a grown up relationship. So I see why you asked that question, when will I meet my soulmate? Wanting to grow and experience. So you want to experience true love. Okay, so that was kind of clarifying to me as to why you were asking that question. That's good. Perhaps it also gave you an insight into how come you're asking that question, when will I meet my soulmate? The first card we have right away, I'm thinking meditation. Okay, it's the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is one of those, the Ace is one of those suits that it's about purity, but here it's about the sword, so it's about purity of thought. It's about channeling that idea of who you want to come into your life and vibrating at a frequency where you can pick up somebody else's vibration who is vibrating at the same frequency as you are. So we see like a weed growing up the sword. There's that idea that people are going to take you for granted, and people are going to see you in the new version of yourself as you are now, because you've learned a lot from your past heartbreak. And so now you're like this person here who is meditating. You're really going inward and delving into yourself, and you are showing the truest parts of yourself that you have come to discover. So I'm thinking about somebody who's doing art. I'm thinking about how now you are channeling that energy into doing art, and you don't want a 9-to-5 job anymore. I'm thinking about the fact that there are several different colored leaves here. So the answer to your question, when will I meet my soulmate? I see that there's a lot of different seasons represented in this card. So I'm actually thinking that if we look at the cards, I don't see any buds, but I do see that, because I'm thinking about springtime, right? Because we have a lot of different color leaves here. We have yellow leaves, green leaves, orange leaves, and red leaves. But we don't have any buds. That's the thing. So, but we do have like some sort of weed or some sort of vine climbing up the sword, and meeting at the top of the sword there are two owls. So already I feel there's a sense of meditation, wisdom, being wise in your decisions, being wise in your choice of people. There's that idea of manifestation, where if you are vibrating on a low level, you will not attract somebody who's vibrating at a high level, which is what you want. If you want to call in your soulmate, you have to vibrate, because soulmates vibrate at a higher level to reach each other and to get with each other. So if you're not respecting yourself in your own body, you will attract people who don't respect you and don't respect your body, and who will just use you. So there's idea that right now you have to focus on yourself. See how this person's meditating? You have to focus on yourself. And the ground is dry. The ground here is all brown and it's dry, but the person that's meditating is blue and it looks like water. So there's that idea that everything that you need is within you. Although your environment may not seem right for your soulmate, everything that you need to manifest a soulmate is within you. And there's also the idea of the subconscious, because it's at night and there's a moon. There's a crescent moon. So you see also the curtains are opening. So there's that idea that you also have to pay attention to the things that you experience at night. So I'm thinking about dreams. I'm thinking about, what is your dream? You have to make it clear to yourself, what is your dream for your soulmate? Because unless you can figure out what it is you want in a man or in a woman or whoever you are trying to attract as a soulmate, whatever you want in that person, it has to be something that you're reflecting in yourself. It really has to be something that you need to know specifically, what kind of qualities are you looking for in this soulmate, and you need to embody them, like this person who's meditating here with his legs crossed. you need to embody them within yourself in order to attract them. And that's the whole idea of manifestation, is that you have to vibrate at a frequency, and that's being who you are in your wanting to attract somebody. And maybe you're already a really good person. That's the thing. And maybe you're thinking, I'm already a good person, so why haven't I attracted a good person? But it's not so much about being good as much as it is about just having a lot of self-confidence and being confident in yourself, not just going to bed with the first person that comes into your life and using that person as a rebound, but really embodying the purest form of who you are and who you want to attract. Next card we have for you who picked pile number 2 with the crystal, the quartz, is the Sun. So card number 19. And here we have 2 babies or toddlers, and we have a sun with red leaves, and we have like some sort of horned animal head here, and then we have wings on the other side of the horned animal. And so I see a little baby girl or a toddler girl and a toddler boy. I see that you are not, what you're thinking is, I don't know what I want. You're thinking, I want to manifest this soulmate. Yes. You're thinking, when is my soulmate going to come into my life? But you're also thinking, I don't want to be picky. You're thinking, I don't know exactly what I want. I just want love. And that's fine. That's fine, because this card, the Sun, is telling me that good things are on the horizon for you. The sun is bright. These children are playing. It looks like a little boy and a little girl, but it could be a little boy and a little boy, or it could be a little girl and a little girl. It doesn't matter. But you see there's 2 people playing in the sun. So I see that you will manifest your soulmate. That is a prediction card for you, that you will. That soulmate is coming into your life. You just have to keep looking into yourself with the meditation card and finding how the sun is represented in your life. And don't be stubborn. Be a free spirit. Yes, don't be stubborn. And what I mean by don't be stubborn is, you see there's a horned head here. There is that idea that either you can be stubborn and you can say, I don't want love anymore. I'm tired of love. Or it could also be a representation of a bull who's a go-getter, right? When you think about a bull, they charge after that flag that the matador is holding up. So there's the idea that I see 2 extremes. I see being stubborn and digging your heels into the ground and not wanting to look any further or even fall in love again. And then there's that idea that you could also go headlong into any relationship. But then there's also the wings. And so when I think about the wings, I think about freedom. I think about a bird. I think about an angel. I think about shadows and light. I think about spirituality. And it's not just a physical thing. What you want to do is embody everything that you want. You want to be complete in your own self. You don't want to be needing anyone to make yourself feel good about yourself. And I think that's the challenge. That challenge is, love yourself. Yes. A soulmate is coming. Yes. The answer is yes. I know that for you. But the answer also is also seen in this maze. You see there's a maze on the card here. So it's like, there's that idea that you will still have to be searching, because in a maze you're searching for the exit, right? When you go into a maze, then you kind of searching for the exit. So there's that idea that it is going to take a little bit of mental work for you to even make a list. Like, what kind of qualities do you want in the person? Do you want them to be honest? Do you want them to be creative? Do you want them to be loyal? Even if it seems like obviously I want them to be loyal, who doesn't? Some people don't care if their partner is loyal or not. So the idea is, make sure that you've written down exactly what you are looking for, and then manifest that in your life. And I know manifest seems like a big lofty word, but I just think that if you don't know what you're looking for, how does divine know what you're looking for, right? And it's not that sense that they don't, obviously divine probably knows everything, but there's the idea that divine wants you to know what you're looking for, so that when it comes into your life, you're going to know it, you're going to see it, you're going to recognize it. Oops. So let's go on to the next card. I'm going to prop up this crystal. The next card is the Minstrel. So it's the King of Stones. So the King of Stones is the King of Pentacles. And here he's called the Minstrel, so the music player. I'm really thinking about a musician in this one. And I'm thinking about the experience that music is a very soothing quality, and perhaps you have certain ideas about people that you have dated or been with in the past, and you're saying to yourself, okay, so what do I want in my soulmate? Well, I don't want this, I don't want that. I experienced this and that person was, so to speak, like a magician. Let's say, I don't know why I'm saying magician, but let's say the person was like a witch or something like a witch, and you experienced a really, really horrible time dating somebody who was into witchcraft and being a magician or a witch. And so then you say to yourself, okay, well, you're writing down what you want, and you're saying to yourself, you're getting into the ideas of what you don't want, which is good too. But I think this card, the minstrel, which is the King of Stones, is to say that this person is the King of Pentacles, right? And they didn't get to be king. Perhaps they did, perhaps they didn't. But the idea is, don't attribute, this is definitely a don't, because you can't do this. This is like being prejudiced or being racist. Don't say, because this person was such a thing, let's say a magician, okay, a witch. Let's say I dated a witch and they were a jerk, so I don't want my next boyfriend to be a witch. That's fine. That's fine. You've had a bad experience with the witch. It could have been like my boyfriend in the past, my ex-boyfriend was a musician, so I definitely don't want my ex-boyfriend to be a musician. That's fine. We learn from our experiences, but don't focus so much on what you don't want as much as what you do want. So if you say, well, I don't want to date a musician because musicians are irresponsible, let's say that's an idea that you have. That's not true about all musicians, but let's say that's what you experienced. Don't write, I don't want someone irresponsible. Write, I want my soulmate to be a responsible individual. Write it in the positive. The next card we have for you, for those who picked pile number 2, is the 10, card 10, the Wheel. The Wheel. And that is very much a karmic card. Whatever you do will come back to you threefold in the Wiccan read. That idea that karma comes back to you. And you are looking for your soulmate. We saw that was the question, when will I find my soulmate? And you feel like maybe you have bad karma because you keep ending up with these losers, so to speak, that you don't think are good people. The Wheel is a card of chance. The Wheel is a card of what you put out comes back to you. It's karma. It's also a good luck card, or if it was reversed, it would be maybe the opposite. But you have the upright wheel. There's that idea of movement. There's the idea of advancement, right? But there's also that idea of luck, like when you spin the wheel in the Wheel of Fortune and you're waiting for, the $1 sign to pop up on the top so you can go to the next stage of winning the grand prize. There's that idea that balance, right? This person is balancing on the wheel, is doing like a yoga pose or something. There's that idea that you don't need to rush into this. I know you thought in this first card, perhaps you were, and this is what it's telling me, you were thinking, I just want to grow up and settle down and be with somebody that is my soulmate. But life is an adventure. Life is an adventure. It is a journey. It is something that you can experience so many beautiful things, even if you're hoping that one day you will meet your soulmate. This card is telling me that you can relax knowing that you have been the best person that you could be, right? And so why wouldn't you be able to receive something like a soulmate who is going to be good to you? Why not? If you have been putting out good things to be out there and even being good in most relationships, or making up for your mistakes in past relationships where maybe you weren't the best version of yourself, you have been honest with yourself. And if you have been honest with yourself, like I'm saying, you will reap honesty. You will reap the benefits of honesty. It's like that idea, you reap what you sow, right? The next card we have from this tarot deck is the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, I see it, like I see a grenade here, and I see like a bird pulling out the pin of the grenade. I don't know if you can see that. There's a grenade on the bottom and there's a bird on the top, not this bird, but this bird here, holding the pin to the grenade. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. It's just around the horizon. It's going to happen soon. It's going to happen soon. And if you don't see it happening soon, let's say this grenade is not going to go off because it's already been detonated, or it's already been exploded, or it's like defective or something. Be like these birds. Be free. Move by spirit. Who knows why this bird is pulling on this pin? Maybe it was on the ground and he picked it up to put it into like some sort of house that he's making. I don't know. But the idea is, don't confuse yourself with an exploding, ticking time bomb. Don't think, why would anybody want to be with me? That's not the vibe that you want to put out there. You are a good person. I was saying, you had this card. It says growing up. Yes, you want to grow up, but you've already grown up quite a bit. Yes, you got the Ace of Swords. It's about focusing on yourself and your own good and your manifestation. You got this card. Your soulmate is coming. Your soulmate is coming. You've been thinking about it for a long time. The King of Stones, the Minstrel. Think about what you do want in a person. The Wheel, that idea that you can relax knowing that it's coming to you. You don't have to worry, when is it coming? When is it coming? Look, it's coming. It's coming. This card is a card to say, maybe it's going to explode, maybe it won't explode. But it's not about a yes or no answer. Even though I said, I know your soulmate is coming, I can feel it. But even if it wasn't coming for you, okay? Don't base your whole life around waiting for your soulmate. Base your life around you. Base your life around making yourself better. And I know sometimes it's probably, lonely to be by yourself, but, learn to be by yourself. Learn to feel like, even when you're lonely with yourself, learn to be in love with yourself regardless. And the last card we have for you guys is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. So here we have oh, interesting. Okay. There's five heads in this card. And okay, how will I know? There's a question for you. You have a question. How will I know when it's my soulmate? I see that coming from you guys. When will I meet my soulmate? How will I know if it's my soulmate? There's the idea that, look, they could be wearing a mask. Perhaps they're not the right person for you if they're putting a mask on and they're pretending to be something they're not. But there's that idea that this woman, who has the same mask as that man right there, the King of Pentacles, this woman, she took off her mask. There's that idea that be yourself. Be the truest version of who you are. Take off your mask here. And maybe if you take off your mask, when person sees you with your mask off, be prepared for rejection, because your soulmate is going to be happy with you with your mask off, so to speak. Symbolically, a mask is the fake you. When you take off your fake mask, your fake you identity, the person that is not your soulmate will reject you. The person that is your soulmate will see you without your mask, and they will say, I'm taking my mask off too, and I am the truest version of myself. And so that is what this card symbolizes. And then there's another person at the back here. Perhaps that symbolizes somebody who's running away scared because she took off her mask here. That person there. There's two heads in the trees. That idea that leave the past in the past. Yes, your experiences are valid and your pain is valid, but don't keep holding on to it. Hang it up in the trees and walk away from it. That's what I'm getting from this card. And remember to be the truest version of yourself, and you will find that idea of your King of Pentacles, that person who's going to be the king of physical. He is going to be your king. He's going to cherish you, whether you're a man or a woman. The King of Pentacles is waiting for his King of Pentacles in the cards. So it's just like saying, it's the idea that the masculine energy is looking for its balance in the feminine energy. Whether you be two males, two females, I don't care. The idea is take off your mask, be you, and that person that sees you with your mask off will not reject you, will take their mask off too, and you will see when you are vibrating as yourself, you will attract people who are vibrating as themselves as well. And that person that doesn't want to take off their mask, you will know, because you will have a vibration of, okay, I don't jive with this person. But if you have a vibration of, after you come in with your mask off, they could reject you. Be prepared for rejection. The love game is not, is a game when it includes reduction. When it includes genuine people, it is a soulful union. And so you're waiting for your soulmate. When will I meet my soulmate? It's coming, but you have to put the real you out there. You have to be aware that people are going to reject you. But the idea is, who cares if they reject you if you're you? Who cares? If they don't like you because you're you, then they're not meant for you, right? So I know that could seem matter-of-factly, but I think it's better to hear the truth than to hear something sugar-coated, so to speak. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For those of you who picked pile number 2 with the love heart, I think it's a love heart. And so your question was, when will I meet my soulmate? It's soon. It's coming. Just put your best foot forward. Put your best you out there. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to those of you who picked pile number 3. You guys picked the green stone. It looks yellow in the ring light, but it's actually a green stone. And I will find out what your question is. Look into the crystal ball and find out what your question is that you want to ask, and then we'll go into the cards. Okay. Candy. I'm thinking about candy. I'm looking past something. We're looking past. Looking past something, seeing in the future. Okay. Well, that's not a question. Let's try again. I know there's a question you guys have in mind. Okay. Trying to see what the question is for you guys. Okay, I see a rainbow. I'm almost afraid to say this question. It almost seems kind of funny to ask this question, but I think there's a question that you guys want to ask that you're not actually asking the question, and it has something to do with your weight. Maybe you're unhappy with what your body looks like. Maybe you want to know. I'm getting a lot of questions here. I'm not going to start putting out questions, but I'm getting a lot of questions. I need a question. I need a question. What is the question? I'm feeling a little bit of impatience. I think it's coming from myself. It's almost like, where is the question? Turning. Okay. Something that isn't realistic. I'm getting something that isn't realistic is forming in your mind. Something that, okay. It has something to do with tarot. It has something to do with, can I be a tarot reader? Okay, the question is, can I be a tarot reader? I don't know, it's weird because I was getting the impression that I'm getting a lot of like insecurity from that crystal ball reading in regards to you guys for picked pile number 3. So let's just clarify what the question really is, because can I read tarot seems like an easy answer, but let's go into the cards and see if we can get something a little bit more concrete. Sorry, guys. Okay. So for you who picked pile number 3 with the green stone, I'm going to put it here for now. The first card we have is the Oracle card, and that's the card that's going to kind of like give us a little bit more understanding into the question for you guys. So the question is investigate. Investigate. I mean, that's not the question. That is the card, and it has to do with the question, can I read tarot? Look closely, ask questions, think before acting. Interesting. I'm getting like a Picasso feeling with this card. It's card number 7. Oh, interesting. I get the feeling the answer is yes. You can read tarot just based on this. Can I read tarot? I mean, it's talking about looking closely, asking questions, and thinking before acting. And when it says thinking before acting, it can mean before speaking, right? Before moving your mouth and forming words. And that is pretty much how tarot works. It's about investigating, so learning about the cards, learning about the meaning of the cards. It's about looking closely into the details of the cards. It's about asking questions to yourself that no one can hear based on, is this something I should say? Does this feel right? Because sometimes there's a lot of things that will pop into your mind if you want to read tarot, if you're a tarot reader already. The idea is a lot of things will go through your mind, and the question you will always ask yourself is this pertinent? Is this pertinent? Is this pertinent? So when you know it's pertinent, it's something that let's go with what you don't think is pertinent. So if it doesn't seem pertinent to you, it's going to pass by you quickly. The idea is just going to pass by you and you can let it go. If it is pertinent, the idea will stick with you and you can actually speak about it. So that is a good card to start with. Can I read tarot? For you guys who were asking, honestly guys, I had this impression of like, when I saw the candy in the card, I thought the question was going to be about your physical body and something about being unhappy with your physical body. But then it came out, can I read tarot? So I don't know why I kind of got the sense that it was something to do with being unsatisfied with your body, with how you look. And yet, can I read tarot is the final question. So maybe you want to know if you can read tarot for yourself because you want to delve into how you can make yourself love yourself better, or how you can make yourself accept who you are. And so then you were thinking that perhaps if I read the tarot, I can help myself that way. And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. The next card we have is the King of Wands. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I think it's interesting because there is a lion sign on his throne and it's upside down. Interesting. A Leo personality is a very outgoing personality. Maybe you feel like you are that person who could possibly be outgoing, or maybe it's the idea that you go through highs and lows, because even though this is a card of willpower, the sign for Leo, which is an outgoing sign, is turned upside down, almost as if to say you don't always feel like you're an outgoing person. So maybe the question you're asking is, how can I read tarot for people if I don't always feel the same way? And there is no answer for that, because the idea is you have to take it one day at a time, right? You have to take your life one day at a time. And even sometimes you have to take it a little slower than that too. So it's the King of Wands. So he's the king of willpower, right? He's a fiery king. He represents masculine energy. He represents the buck stops here type thing. So that is the last person that a question or that a solution will stop at him, and he will come up with the solution. This masculine energy will come up with the solution. And I think that's what you need to know, is that maybe sometimes you feel high and sometimes you feel low. And you think to yourself, how can I stay consistent with reading tarot for people if I don't always feel the same way? And the answer is the buck stops with you. You decide what you want. If you want to postpone a tarot reading for somebody and they don't appreciate that and they want their money back, the buck stops with you. Do you want to give them their money back? Do you really feel like you can't read tarot for them that day? If that's truly how you feel, refund them and just, do it another day if they want, or if they don't want to, that client was not for you. So the buck stops at you guys for tarot reading. And also, it was also about reading tarot for yourself, right? Because there was that idea of a low self-confidence in your body. I was getting the idea of eating too much candy and getting fat, so to speak. And the idea was maybe Like, because somebody who is overweight, and maybe I shouldn't use the word fat, but I guess it's just a word to describe somebody who's overweight. It might be a little bit, crude, but, sometimes I feel fat too. So, because I used to be a bodybuilder and I used to be really, really cut and lean, and now I've put on a lot of weight. So I understand the feeling of not feeling comfortable in your body, but I also think that when you build up your spirituality, and you can do that through tarot reading for yourself, when you build up your spirituality, you actually feel more confident than if you have a hot body, so to speak. And that's not to say that a bigger body is not a hot body. It's just that a body who accepts themselves the way they are is a hot body. There is no look that is considered a hot body, so to speak. There is no look that is hot. It's the attitude behind the person that is hot. If you accept yourself and you love yourself and you move with how you feel because you respect how you feel and you respect your conscious, yourself, who doesn't want to do something when it doesn't want to do something, that is attractive. That's what's attractive. The next card we have is card number 16. It's the Tower. So you're thinking, can I read tarot for myself? What happens if I get a card like this, the Tower? And there is maybe you're not quite aware of this. There is such a thing as a good destruction, right? Like, maybe what's being destroyed for you right now is the idea that you are not capable. Maybe that's what this Tower card means for you right now. The idea that you can't do this for yourself is being destroyed with this Tower card right now. Right now, the question was, can I read tarot for myself? And the answer is yes, because you are allowing this idea of this blockage. Like, look at all these blocks one on top of each other to make a tower. This blockage that you had, that you thought that you couldn't do it for yourself, it's being torn down. And so when this tower is torn down, what are you left with? You're left with the basic foundation, like the earth, and you have to rebuild on the earth. And you can rebuild a business for yourself. You can rebuild a business for yourself reading tarot for people. It's just about being able to accept the negative cards. Like, and when I say the negative cards, obviously this looks like a negative card, right? But it's not always about focusing on the negative as much as it is focusing on the good that will come from the card. The next card we have is the Phoenix, which is Judgment. Card number 20. So this card was card 10, 15, 16. And this card is card number 20, XX, Judgment, the Phoenix. See, that's just an example. This card is Judgment, but it's the Phoenix rising from the ashes. It's the idea of pushing on, being stronger than your circumstances, being stronger than the things that are trying to bring you down, soaring to new heights. Yes, it says Judgment, but it's a good card. Usually you think of the Judgment card and you think, oh great, something bad's going to happen, right? No, that's not necessarily always true. And if something bad does happen, just remember that, like this Phoenix, you will rise from that situation. You will overcome that situation. You will become greater than the letdown. The next card we have, for those of you who picked pile number 3 with the green rock, I really feel like this green rock symbolizes growth for you guys, is the 10 of Cups, happily ever after. There's that rainbow that says everything is going to be okay. There's that idea of emotions, because there's 10 cups. You have enough. You identified your emotions. You know how to identify the emotions in others. You see, there's 2 other people here, and there's you with like someone else, maybe a friend, and you want to do this tarot reading idea not just for yourself but for the people around you, and everything is going to work out. That's what the rainbow means, right? Everything is going to work out, and you're going to be happy, and you're going to be in love with this idea of being able to read tarot and express your emotions and express your creativity with the rainbow. I feel like there's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of different facets involved in reading tarot. And even for me, you guys, for those of you who are asking, can I read tarot? You know, before I did this video for you guys today, I thought to myself, I don't have the energy to do this. And then I drew an oracle card for myself, which was the Fire Fairy. And the Fire Fairy was that I should take take this opportunity as an opportunity to create. And so that's just an example of why I did this video today, is because I took an oracle card for myself and I felt like the oracle was telling me, push yourself forward. You have this opportunity. And that's the good thing about the tarot, is that this card is saying everything is going to be okay. Look how much everything is coming to fruition for you. And so that's just like an insight into the future for you with your tarot reading, because your question was, can I read tarot? And the answer is yes. The next card we have is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands. I see a lot of victory in this card. I see a lot of work, a lot of willpower and work, because she's carrying the wands. Obviously, you know that tarot reading is not an easy thing to do. Some people might tell you that if you feel tired reading tarot, then you're doing it wrong. But it's not because you're doing it wrong necessarily. It could just be because you've used a lot of your energy giving to people, and sometimes you just need to, sometimes you're more tired than other times, and it doesn't mean that you're doing tarot wrong. Don't let anybody ever tell you that if you feel tired doing tarot, it's because you're doing it wrong. There could be plenty of underlying situations as to why you're feeling tired. And so this is the idea of the willpower of working a victory. I feel like there's something I'm missing in this card. I'm thinking of Joan of Arc, and how she stood up for what she believed in. There's like a fighter in this card. You see her, she's got her scepter, which is her wand with like the little, the blade at the top there with the stone blade. And she's got all that fighting, power behind her with all those like the spears here, and then that spear that's up. It's almost like saying she's the victor and she's ready to fight for what she wants, and she's ready to fight for the life that she wants. And I really get the impression that you're asking yourself, can I actually make this thing work for me in my life? Can I actually feel confident reading tarot for people? Can I actually feel good about myself connecting to source? And can I actually do this? And the answer is yes. Yes to it all. If it's something that you're interested in, if tarot is what you're interested in, and you feel drawn to tarot cards, and you feel drawn to expressing yourself using tarot cards, and if you feel drawn to healing yourself using tarot cards, and if you feel drawn to helping other people by reading tarot cards for them, the answer is yes. Do it. Go, go, go. The last card we have for you guys who picked pile number 3 with the green stone is the Empress. And that's just to say, look where you are now. You are the queen. And this is a present card for sure. You are the queen, the Empress. And this kind of reminds me of an actual card deck with the queen like from Alice the Wonderland here. Investigate. Go into it. You are the queen. You are the queen, and there's nothing for you to lose. I know here it looks like, okay, I'm just Alice, but remember with the queen in the Alice in Wonderland movie, she said, off with her head. Well, look, you're the one you are the one who leads the music in your life. You are the one who's connected to your emotions with the water. You are the one who's connected with your mind with the sky and the clouds, and the red representing fire, your willpower. And you are the one playing the music. You are the one in charge of your physical realm around you. You are connected to the divine because the divine has made you the Empress. The Empress. You are pregnant with creative power when it comes to the tarot. You are about to give birth to some amazing tarot things that you are going to do. The answer, can you read tarot? Yes. And you are going to do more than just read tarot. If you really want to, you can be the Empress when it comes to tarot. And the Empress, she is a nurturing person. She is a giving person. She is a very creative person. She is an outgoing person. Look, she's painted a red heart on her face. She's a quirky person. She's not your regular individual. But you know what? There is room for this Empress because the Empress is in control, and the Empress is in control of what she loves because look, she's got a heart on her cheek. She's got a beautiful red dress on, symbolic of passion, but she's also a pretty girl. Look how pretty she is. And even though she's a little bit quirky, doesn't mean that she isn't able to feel confident in herself. Like when I saw that candy name, I was getting the idea of the question having something to do with losing weight or something, or trying to feel comfortable in your own skin. Doing what you love as the Empress in regards to tarot and investigating further into studying the tarot for yourself is going to allow you to continue to give to others when the time is right. So that's what I have for you guys who picked pile number 3 with the green rock of abundance, right? This is the green rock of abundance. It's the rock that says you will be successful. And so I hope you guys who picked pile number 3 enjoyed that reading. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.